We talk about the Clippers trying to keep Boogie Cousins. And I want to give 3 reasons why I feel like they should look into keeping a player like Boogie Cousins. Now, we know Demarcus Cousins was a really great player, or on the way to becoming a great player when he was with the Sacramento Kings several years ago. We know a slew of injuries has slowed Demarcus Cousins down and have diminished some of his skills to the point where he's looked at as an all-star caliber type player. But I do say this, he still has a lot left in the tank, and I definitely think he's shown that this year. First off, he started off with a 10-day contract with the Clippers, and then it just got extended throughout the whole year because they like what they saw in his gameplay. And they actually, for the most part, looking at his attitude and how that has improved over the years as well is probably the reason why Boogie continues to find jobs and continues to find work in the NBA. Because when you look at Boogie's overall attitude back then when he was in his superstar status or on the way to superstar status, let's just be honest, he was somebody you really didn't want on your team. He was a disruptive type figure, and for the most part, he came off that way, even in interviews at times, and his demeanor on the floor. So the Clippers got a steal in a player like him in regards to a player, that a lot of people remember and a lot of people respect. Now, one of the 3 reasons why I say that the Clippers should keep Boogie Cousins or re-sign him, for one, it's going to be because of his toughness. Now, one thing I can always say about Demarcus Cousins, he's always been a tough-minded type player. He's always going to bring that edge to the floor, and he's always going to play, with emotion and spirit and give it all he's got. And that's what the Clippers need, because the Clippers need a player who can go out there and give you consistent numbers, but at the same time, also play with a toughness on defense that makes other players around him want to play with the same type of energy. And I always say energy goes a long way in every situation. The energy you put into something and, the energy you put into it with the type of mindset that you will have, like I'm going all in, this all or nothing type mentality, that rubs off on other players around you. And that definitely could be a good thing for a championship type team. And that's exactly what they have. What I'm saying? Right now, the way the roster is currently constructed, until otherwise, right now they are a championship caliber team and they are a contender as we speak. Now, the other reason I want to say is why I think they should keep Boogie Cousins is because defenses still respect Boogie Cousins. And when I say that, defenses still look at him as that player kind of when he was in Sacramento. Of course, he doesn't score as much. He's not as dominant as he was there. But when you look at him play, the games that he's played with the Clippers, when he was asked to come in, he's played really well. And, he still has, his drop step. He still can play with his back to the basket, and he's still a force in the paint. I always thought when he was drafted to the NBA, I always thought he might be a little undersized to be a center. But he's played the center position, he's played the 4 position, and he's played both of them pretty well at a pretty high clip. And, every time he's on the floor offensively, he's definitely a weapon. Because when you look at like how he can stretch the floor with his jump shot, you look at how he can score with his back to the basket, and he's a decent free throw shooter. I mean, hey, all that goes a long way, especially, if you look at it from the point of if he's getting a lot of minutes and he's getting a lot of playing time, he's being very, very productive. And we all know productivity, the more productive you are, it goes a long way in this league, of course. So we definitely can't deny that. Now, my third reason, I would say the reason why the Clippers should re-sign him is because of what we saw in the playoffs. When he was called upon in the playoffs to play, 11 minutes, 15 minutes here and there, he put up really good numbers. I know one game I remember seeing him against Utah, I think it was in the Utah series, where he had came in and he had put up like 15 points in like 11 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is production. When you have a big man who can do something like that, that means the defenses still respect what he does. As I just stated, also, he's making the defense respect him by him playing at a level where a lot of people think that he can't. And he's shown that he can. So this is something that I think the Clippers should build off of and continue to ride the wave of Boogie Cousins, because you got to look at this also. When you think about Boogie, who did he really step in for? He stepped in for Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka has came off back surgery. We don't know if Serge Ibaka will ever be the same. I'm not sure if he ever will. I mean, back surgery is just one of those things where it's like you're never going to be the same player. We saw what happened to Dwight Howard when he had back surgery or had back issues. Dwight Howard was never the same player. And it's just something about back surgeries where no player ever really comes back the same. I don't care in what sport it is. It could be basketball, football, any sport. They're just never really the same player, because it's like not only that takes away from your athleticism, but it takes away from a lot of just your regular mobility that you use on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So let alone playing a sport like basketball where you're trying to use all your mobility and every inch of your mobility, every ounce of your mobility to get up and down the court and make plays and, do certain things that, that the sport requires you to do. So, I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint, probably the biggest reason, I would say, I guess the fourth reason probably should be number one, is probably they should re-sign Boogie Cousins because of the health of Serge Ibaka. And it's really not for certain how healthy he's going to be. And you don't even know what Serge Ibaka you're going to get. I mean, it might actually come to a situation where, Boogie and, might be starting a lot of games and Serge Ibaka's coming off the bench. Because, I mean, like I said, back surgery is just nothing to play with. And, but like I said, we'll have to just see how that goes and everything. But I like what I saw from Boogie Cousins in the playoffs. I like his, I like his mentality as far as, being a tough-minded player. And the fact that his attitude done calmed down a lot better than what it was in Sacramento and everything like that, I feel like that's a good fit for the Clippers. Now, of course, we know that's probably due to the fact that injuries have slowed everything down for him. He's not as, abrasive as he was at one time, because now he's just trying to fit in, wherever he can get in. And that's just pretty much, the situation for Demarcus Cousins. But, I mean, he definitely has, the opportunity to sign with a team where he can definitely, possibly get a championship, depending on whether Kawhi Leonard comes back, of course. But, of course, that's another story. We have to just see how that goes with Kawhi Leonard and everything. But, yeah, I definitely think those are the reasons why I think they should re-sign Boogie Cousins. And I feel like he would definitely be a piece that they can utilize going forward, and a secret weapon that a lot of teams won't have an answer for. And hopefully, with that being said, hopefully they resign him and like I said, the rest of the crew, what I'm saying? Because like I said before, I just think they'd be so much better if they just stick together and keep the team the way it is. But of course, like I said, we have to see how that goes and see how the season, progresses and everything when next season starts, and see how, the Clippers, see what product they put out on the floor. I feel like they're right there where they need to be, near championship status. So, I mean, it's like, hopefully they don't make the wrong decision and take a piece or two away that they could really utilize and keep to go to a championship, rather than, trying to do something else and make the wrong decision. And now you're one step behind of getting to a championship. I've seen teams do it a lot, what I'm saying? So it's like, hopefully, the front office and everybody in the Clippers organization figures out a way to, keep everybody there, or like I said, replace somebody with somebody of the same caliber, because that's what it's going to come down to. Like I said, I like some of the off-season potential trades that I'm hearing about. I like some of them, but some of them I don't like, but we'll see how it goes. Really, I want to speak on this topic too. I hear the DeMar DeRozan trade possibility is heating up. I hear that it's really, really a very big possibility that the Clippers have a good opportunity of getting DeMar DeRozan. And like I said before, when you're getting a player like DeMar DeRozan, I mean, not only he could step in for Kawhi Leonard, but, he could step in pretty damn well for Kawhi Leonard, because when you think about it, like, he's basically like a poor man's version of Kawhi Leonard. He plays defense, he's a decent two-way player. And like I said, he can score about 23. He can give you about 23 points a game on average, not an MVP caliber type player, but he's an all-star caliber type player. So when you add that to what they already have, that would be really good if they were able to do that. Personally, I'm not a DeMar DeRozan fan, but if Kawhi Leonard is going to be out for a while, if he decides to re-sign with the team, you have to put something in place until he gets back. Now, when he does get back and everything is up and going, how would DeMar DeRozan fit with them then? You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of like the conundrum of the situation, or that would be kind of like the question of like how he would fit and everything with everybody fully healthy and everybody there. But like I said, that's just speculation right now on DeMar DeRozan. But like I said, the talks are heating up, and I definitely think DeMar DeRozan is going to choose one of the LA teams to go to. So hopefully in the Clippers' favor, they get him, because they definitely could use him. And like I said, even more so, depending on how long Kawhi Leonard is going to be out. But at the same time, like I said, he definitely can help the team. He definitely can't hurt, especially if they're missing their number one player. But we'll see how it goes. And, hey, let me know in the comment section what you think about, the DeMar DeRozan issue, the trade possibly heating up, and what you think about keeping Demarcus Cousins. And leave any comments, as always, as we always do. We'll engage and talk about it. And, hey, Cali out.